Marketing Your Private Practice is a podcast where you'll learn easy to implement tips and strategies to grow your business without spending all day online. I'm your host, Colaiacovo, and I teach practitioners the Thrive marketing method to create simple and streamlined plans by focusing on long-term strategies, not just social media. Discover ways to spend less time on your marketing, attract more clients, and build the financial freedom that comes with a thriving practice. One where you have time left in your day for the people and things that matter to you. Marketing Your Private Practice is a podcast where you'll learn easy to implement tips and strategies to grow your business without spending all day online. I'm your host, Colaiacovo, and I teach practitioners the Thrive marketing method to create simple and streamlined plans by focusing on long-term strategies, not just social media. Discover ways to spend less time on your marketing, attract more clients, and build the financial freedom that comes with a thriving practice. One where you have time left in your day for the people and things that matter to you. Hey, private practice heroes. Thanks for tuning into the podcast where you'll learn easy to implement tips and strategies to build and grow a thriving practice without spending all day on social media. I'm your host, Colaiacovo, a marketing strategist who's spent over 14 years helping practitioners with their marketing so that they grow their businesses to 5, 6, and even 7 figures. In a recent episode, we were talking about planning your ideal week and working your business and life events that need to be addressed during your days into your calendar. So you've probably realized by now that I teach a lot about needing to block time to plan your business, your life, and yes, even your marketing. In case you haven't figured it out from listening to my advice, planning is the key to many things, but especially saving time with your marketing and getting the results you're looking for from the time you do put into your marketing. Planning helps you achieve your goals. Random acts of marketing, that doesn't do it. Spending hours a day online, that doesn't do it either. A content marketing plan is a specific plan for the marketing you're doing for your practice or your business. That does help you achieve your goals. An effective content marketing plan is one that guides you so that you can plan the content you need to create, know how often you need to create it, and then also know when and where you're going to use it in your marketing. Using a content planner is one of the best ways to organize everything for the marketing for your practice. This is something I've used from day one in my business, especially as my initial business as a social media specialist grew, and I was hiring team members to help me with the client work. Because once you get to a place where you have 14 team members and you're supporting over 35 to 40 clients at any given time, systems and tools will be critical to your success. Trust me, I've been there, I've done that. And every business needs systems, especially if you want to scale. Systems will make or break not only your success, but your sanity too. I know for me, if I didn't have a system for taking on new clients, a system for managing their work, the team for hiring team members, and yes, even firing team members. And the most important systems and processes we used back then were the ones that helped us manage all the client work. With that many people involved between the clients and the team members, well, honestly, I wouldn't have survived without those systems in place. Back then, almost every client I worked with was either for marketing strategy and planning that we did for them, or the team and I did their online marketing support. So we managed all of their online marketing, their emails, newsletters, social media blogs, and even websites. And the most important system and tool we used for this work was the content planner I had developed. Now, this started out as a simple planner, and it has definitely evolved over the years. It has developed into an entire system, one that helps me and all my clients as well. Then it turned into more than just a content planner. It really has become part of our content storage system. It's part of the team guidelines for the work we do with clients. It's part of how we know the schedule for clients, the when, where, and how often their content is posted. It's also where we save and store lots of things like lists of keywords and the content that we create as well. What most people never realize about a tool and a system like a content planner is that it actually can solve a lot of the struggles you might be having with the marketing for your practice, and especially some of the biggest issues practitioners really struggle with when it comes to marketing. I have done many a survey over the time, and I talk to clients and I keep track of their notes and their issues and their problems when they come to me looking to either work with me one-on-one or register for one of my programs. And when I do talk to them, there are three things that always stand out as the biggest issues that they have when it comes to marketing. Time is always the biggest one. Either marketing takes too much time or marketing is a waste of time. And I get this. When you don't get results or leads from all the time that you put into your marketing, it is beyond annoying and downright frustrating. Your marketing's supposed to be getting you clients, and if it's not, it will feel like a waste of time. There are so many ways and methods of doing marketing that when you're struggling and trying to get it to work, it really can be a challenge. But when you follow a plan and have a strategy for your marketing and use a content planning system, well, that's when I often find that the time bandits will disperse and you'll find yourself using your time a lot more wisely and seeing results like more clients booked and even clients from the time that you do spend on your marketing. But without that plan and system, this is why time often becomes an issue because there isn't any planning made around the marketing. And that's why it's either taking too much time or just isn't getting the results and feels like a waste of time. Now, focus is the next place where people get stuck when it comes to marketing. So focus, when I talk about that and the way people have worded it to me, is more from a point of view of where do I spend my time and focus with the time I am going to spend on marketing. So it's kind of like, where do I go and what do I do while I'm there? The problem when you're having a focus issue is that a lot of folks try to deal with the issue and solve it by doing one of two things, and neither of them typically help very effectively. They either freeze and don't do anything because it's all become too overwhelming, or they do the opposite and they start doing more and more marketing trying to make it all work. But when it's not working in the first place, doing more of what's not working is never a strategic way to spend your time either. By following a system to plan, create, and schedule your marketing content, this is going to help you figure out from the very beginning when you're doing the planning where you should focus your time and energy when it comes to marketing your practice or your business. And when you know where you should focus your time and energy, that's going to guide you with what kind of content you need to create, how much you should be creating, how often you need new content, as well as when and where you should be publishing that content as well. So focus is really that place of what do I do and where do I do it? Because you want to be efficient with your time. Now, the third struggle is always the one that scares people the most too. It's really all about the actual content. So many people get stuck wondering about what kind of content to create and what to use for marketing content. And some of this stems from thinking and actually believing that they don't have anything worthwhile to say when it comes to marketing. Now, if this is you, let me tell you right now, this is not true. I have helped hundreds of business and practice owners learn to create marketing content, even though they never thought of themselves as someone who could write content. The way you do this is really by learning how to write for marketing. And when you're writing for marketing, that is a very different way from writing a book or writing a thesis or writing an essay. Writing for marketing is really all about learning to take the brilliance out of your head and just put it into words that people can easily understand and learn from. This content problem can also be solved by taking the time to plan your marketing content and the activities that you're doing. These three things, time, focus, and content, are the three most common roadblocks folks run into when it comes to marketing a private practice or business. But there's always going to be some of the other ones too. Things like how to do marketing and not sound salesy, or not wanting to put myself out there, but I still want to do marketing, but I still want to have a private life. Or another one is always, how do you even tell if your marketing's working? Because it just never seems to work. The list goes on and on of marketing struggles, but these three ones are the biggest ones that I see and deal with my clients and students in my programs. And they do make marketing seem so complicated, but it really doesn't have to be. When you take the time to plan and use a content planner, that's going to be the main thing that's going to help you with these roadblocks. It's going to help stop that struggle that you're having, whichever one it is that you're having, and help you get more efficient with your marketing and your time. Because we both know that you have way better things to be doing with your time than marketing. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't be doing marketing, but you can be doing it in a way that you also have time to devote to working with clients so that you have time to connect with referral partners, even in person. Because, yeah, you know what? Some real life marketing actually helps out your practice or your business too. And people often avoid that because they're in the quest to do less in less time and have that 3-day work week making 6 figures or more. But often when you want to get to that place and you need to build up to it, connecting with referral partners and doing what I call offline marketing is the biggest help that you can look at doing to grow your business. And that's where you want to be spending your time, doing the work that will help grow your business and get more clients. Better yet, what about thinking about spending some of your time not working, living your life? If you can do your marketing in a way that it doesn't take a ton of time, then you can get some of that downtime because we all need downtime. And when you have a more efficient marketing plan, then you're often saving the time so that you can clock out and go be with family or friends or have time to spend on your favorite hobby. The more you can be efficient with your time in your business, whether it's doing your marketing, doing your sales, working with clients, doesn't matter what it is, whatever you can do to improve your efficiencies and save time, that's going to give you more time to get out and live your life. And that's one of the main things I like to help make sure that my clients and students in my programs are doing. Using a content planner is going to help with these struggles and roadblocks. It's also how we often get folks to a place where they can just spend 15 minutes a day online if that's something they even want to do. Because marketing a private practice or business doesn't have to be all about social media and only social media. In fact, I tell people that it is only one small part of your marketing plans, and you shouldn't be relying on it because you want your marketing to help you with the long term. That means you have to have a good mix of marketing. You have to have your foundations in place. You have to have your messaging down pat. You have to have your content being effective. And then you want the systems in place that help you do all of that and connect those 4 pillars of marketing and practice. But the biggest benefit to you and your practice from taking the time to do the planning and use a content planner is that having a system like this helps also keep everything in one place. It makes it easier to find, to follow, to use it as well. And that's one of the big things that we do with the content planner that I created and that my team and I use and have used for years and years. It just helps keep everything in one place. Now, it doesn't mean that every single piece of content is in there. There are some things I have changed about the planner in the last few years. But the idea is you've got this one main tool and this one main storage system that helps you plan the activities that you're going to do and keep it all in one place so that it is easier to use and to make sure that you can actually do what you need to from the plans you've created. Now, something you should also know about me is I am very big on saving all your content. Content is your genius. It's the brilliance in your head that gets written down to use in your marketing. And when you're saving your content, it makes it a lot easier to repurpose and reuse it. Folks that post content on social media and don't save it anywhere else, well, that's a really big waste of marketing content and time, if you ask me. There's so many ways that you could repurpose that piece of content you posted on Facebook and then just let go out there and that be the only place you put it. If you put your content out there and let it live just for a moment and then die on the internet because you haven't saved it to use anywhere else, if you could have, well, when you find yourself stopping this habit, you're going to find yourself saving a ton of time too. Because there's so many ways you can repurpose your marketing content. And we've done this many times over the years with clients. We've used tips that they've created for social media and turned them into ebooks, or even turned them into mini courses or programs. Sometimes we've created digital products from them or bonuses that they can give clients. The list goes on and on of what you can do with your marketing content that you create for your marketing. But it's hard to reuse and repurpose that content if it's lost on the internet because it wasn't saved before you published it online. And that is one of the top reasons that you should be using a content planner or having a system for saving and storing your content, is so that you can be saving it to reuse in the future. And that's just one way a content planner will help you with your marketing. But what I wanted to share with you today was more ideas of what you could do, what you can store, and how you can use your own marketing content planner. So that's what we're going to dive into here now. The content planner that I use, which is the basis for the ultimate marketing content planner and training that I sell on my website, well, this content planner houses all the critical elements and content that's needed for my online marketing. And when we use it for our clients, it's the same thing for them as well. And it really is the same planner I have used with almost all of the clients I've ever worked with over the past 14 years. And it's set up in such a way that you can use it alone if you do your marketing on your own, or you can use it in collaboration if you have the help of a virtual assistant or an admin helping you with your marketing too. And for me, this was a critical piece of the system, being able to use it with others. Because when we do the work for clients on the team, there are often 2 or 3 VAs that are managing the work that is guided by the planner. So making sure that we have something that we can all use, that is kept up to date, and that people in various locations, because we are located all over Canada and the US, it's critical that we could be using it in those ways, at least the team members. Then we've got the clients. Some of them are involved in what's in the planner as well. And my clients are located typically in Canada, the US, Europe, Australia. So making sure that we have a tool that can be used in an easy way by several people is really important. So to give you an idea of how a content planner can help and what it can do for you, I wanted to share the 12 main items that are included in my Ultimate Marketing Content Planner so that you can understand what we store in it and how this could help you plan and organize your own marketing. So what I'm going to do now is review the 12 elements that we have in the planner so that it might give you some ideas on what you could be doing with your own content planner as well. So the first thing that we look at is a content bucket of topic ideas. So this is something that will help you plan out your main ideas so that you're not stuck with what should you be writing about or talking about in your marketing content. Then we have a yearly planner for the anchor content. Now, your anchor content is the main article that you want to create and write. So it might be your article that you're going to use in your newsletter or on a blog, or the topic and the content you're going to put into a podcast. And so your anchor content plan for the year is really you looking at planning out the ideas for this anchor content over the next year and really setting it up in such a way that you have ideas and know what the content's going to be about and when you want to have it ready for and when you want to publish it. Then we have a section for social media content types and the schedule. So this is really a list of what kind of content you're going to use in your marketing and when and where it's going to get posted on social media in particular, but then also when it's going to be scheduled on your newsletter and posted on your website on a blog post. And let me tell you right now, if you haven't heard me talk about anchor content planning before and your catalyst content as well, I will put a link to that in the show notes because it's important for you to understand how these types of content work. And that will give you more ideas about what kind of schedule that you could be creating for your content. But also, I really want to make sure that you're not someone who is currently creating content for your blog and different content for your newsletter and different content for your social media. Because when you start doing that, you're creating way too much content. Typically, I find people creating about 50% or more content than they actually need. And that takes a lot more of your time as well. So the content planner that I have gives you an idea of what kind of content you should be using and how you can create a schedule for it as well. Then we also have a section in the planner of the call to action focus. And so this is really just a reminder to you to think about what you're going to be offering or promoting or highlighting in your newsletter or your blog, so that you are making sure that when you create the content, you have that call to action, those CTAs in the content as well. You don't want to be skipping out. If you have a plan to promote a specific lead magnet, you want to make sure that you have a call to action focus in your planning so that you don't forget to include that CTA to that lead magnet in any of the content that you're making. Then we have a section for what I call blog or podcast promotional posts. And these are just short blurbs that really are intended to entice people to click and read your blog or listen to your podcast. And you'll add new ones in each time you publish a blog or a podcast. But it is also a place, again, where you're going to save that, because there's no reason you can't reuse some of those down the road and encourage people to read or listen to those pieces of content again in the future. Just because you made a blog today doesn't mean it's not going to be relevant to people in 3 months or 6 months or even a year or so down the road. So when you have this content in your planner, it's a way for you to save and store it as well. The sixth item on this list is lead magnet promotional content. And this is what I call your evergreen content, because when you have a lead magnet, you should be promoting it online. You should be including it as a call to action focus as well. But you can actually make short promotional posts for your lead magnet to put out on social media. And these are things that you'll probably make. I like to tell people to make a starter amount, a batch that you can save and reuse them over time. Because if you're not directing people to sign up for your lead magnet, nobody else is going to do that. So making sure that you have some lead magnet promotional content is really important as well. Number 7 on the list is your brilliance business tips. And this is content I like people to create. It's part of what I call the business content. I teach a formula of having a good mix of business, sales, and persona content. And the business content is really content that's teaching your community online new things, valuable lessons, tips that help them out. So having this information is good to have. And this is the kind of information we've repurposed many times and help clients create lead magnets or ebooks and different things from all these 1 or 2 line business tips that they've created over time. Number 8 is the kind of content that I like to recommend people use, which I call engagement posts. So these are the types of posts that you would put out on social media to encourage folks to engage and comment and connect with you on social media. It's getting people talking back and forth, answering questions or sharing an opinion or doing a poll, things like that. So having this kind of content in your planner gives you a way to have it in there. It can always be reused over time. And you would just have it ready to go copy, paste, and schedule when you're going to put it into your content schedule. And number 9 is very similar to this as well. I always like to have a little batch of quotes of role models or mentors or influencers or leaders in your industry, or even just leaders in the world. So this is where you'll see people often share quotes of like Maya Angelou, or I like to share quotes sometimes from Bob Proctor or Earl Nightingale, different quotes like that from people that are out there. I know a lot of folks in the private practice industry might share from some of the top leaders in the industry. So quotes of role models and mentors is added non-salesy content that can inspire people to engage as well. So sometimes what you might want to do with this is take the quote, put it on an image, and have a couple words to go with it. And then all of a sudden you have a good piece of business content. It's not salesy, and it is something that can inspire people to engage and connect with you online as well. So having those in there is very helpful too. And I do have in my content planner that I sell, I have a whole bunch of these in there that you can just use as your own. So I've already curated some of them for you. The 10th type of thing that we store in our content planner would be program launch content, is what I call it. And this is the kind of content we might create when there's a special event happening, maybe a webinar or a workshop, or there's a new program coming out and we have some specific content to go out on social media and to go in the newsletter or on the blog that is pointedly relevant to the program launch. So telling people about signing up for it, when it's happening, what kind of deals there might be on it, bonuses, whatever it might be. So the content that you're going to use for launching your program. And if you launch a program or a service and do it over time and do it again in the future, having this content here is always going to save you time, in that you can just take what you had from last time, edit, adjust it, update it a little, but it won't take you as long as it would to create it in the first place. Then we also have a list of holidays and special days. So this is something I've put in here for Canadian and US holidays. And this just adds some extra information that you can put out online. It's not salesy, it's not promoting you. It's really just added things that can sometimes inspire extra conversation as well. And the 12th thing that we like to keep in here is a list of keywords and hashtags to use in the content. So it makes it a lot easier when we have it in here so that we can just copy and paste and use it when we're posting any of our content to social media or using it in those kinds of ways. It's also a reference point to remember what are the top keywords we want to focus on and the hashtags that we want to use. And then over time, we'll update and change those as well. So those are the 12 things that are included in the Ultimate Marketing Content Planner that I have created. That may not be what you have in a content planner you're using now, but I do want you to think about making sure you're including this kind of stuff in whatever planner you use. And the list could go on and on. The thing that's really important for you to understand here is having a planner like this that houses all aspects of planning your content. It is one of the top secrets to spending less time with your marketing, because you've got everything there. It's at the ready. You've got it ready to use. Maybe you need to repurpose it. Maybe you need to use it for the first time. Maybe you need to update it and save time creating new content. Having it here will help you plan your marketing, spend less time on it, and make sure you're staying on point with what you're trying to do. The trouble with it is that it's really boring when we talk about this kind of stuff. And people think that it really doesn't make a difference. But honestly, it is often the simpler things in life that can cause the biggest shifts in what you're doing. And this is one of the reasons why clients who work with me and folks who register in my Thrive Marketing Academy get access to this planner as part of their work with me. They get access to the Ultimate Marketing Content Planner partly because it's the basis for the Thrive Marketing method I teach. And so when members in my program or clients who are working with me start working with me, they get a copy of the planner so that they can use it to get more organized with what they're doing and have a tool and a system that's already been used, it's already set up, it's ready to go, and it will help them get their marketing done and done effectively. Now, if you're not using a tool like this, I encourage you to start. Whatever type of planner you use, be sure to add and include in it whatever is specific to your business or your practice. The content and the plans that you're going to have then start with will change over time. So you want to keep this updated. You want to keep the planner updated, keep the systems updated. And when things change with the marketing needs for your business or practice, make sure you make the changes in the planner. The biggest thing is if you really want to get time back in your day and be more efficient with your marketing, getting organized and using a content planner will help you make that happen. So whether it's the Ultimate Marketing Content Planner I have and I sell on my website, or it's any other one that you use, or you want to start by creating your own, Whatever one you have or use, I just want you to be using something that will help you be more organized. Because when you have this organization and this system set up, that is the best way you're going to make sure you stay on point with what you were doing, that what you're doing is set to try and help you achieve your goals. And that is all going to help you save time in your day so that maybe you have some of the time left in your day for those business activities that you've been avoiding or unable to do. Or maybe you just want to have some extra time to get out and live your life. The idea is here, when you book that time, block that time, and take the time to plan your marketing content and have it organized with the system, that is how you're going to make sure you have that extra time in your day to be able to do what you want to do with it. Now, if you're wondering about the Ultimate Marketing Content Planner and training that I offer, you can purchase a copy of it. I will put a link to it in the show notes. And if you want to use the coupon code PLAN50, you can save $50 off the fee of the planner too. And it is a little bit more than just a planner. What I sell with that, it comes with training videos too, to help you learn the best way to use the planner and help with your own marketing plans. But there's also an entire training on goal setting and creating your priority list of action steps too, to get you started with what should I be doing? Where should I focus my time? The added bonus, I also have about 500 pieces of content that you can just copy, paste, and use as your own. Now, I will tell you in the training why you shouldn't do this. If you want to, that's fine. I typically recommend you edit them a little and make them your own. And I have a whole short lesson on why you should do this. But if you do want to use them as your own, it can save you some time, especially when you're getting started too. So I will link to that planner in the show notes. But most importantly from this lesson, I want you to think about how you can use a planner of any type to get you better organized with your time and your marketing. My Ultimate Marketing Content Planner was created, and when we put it up for sale as a product, it was really to help people that are doing their own marketing get better organized with your time and your marketing so that you know exactly what kind of content will help you with your marketing, and you have a system to keep it all organized so that you can make sure that you have it at the ready to reuse whenever you need to reuse it. Because that repurposing is one of the biggest time savers, I will tell you, when it comes to marketing. And the lessons that are in there and the ones that you're hearing today, these will help you manage those top 3 struggles of time, focus, and content when it comes to marketing your private practice. So your action step with all this knowledge I've been sharing with you today, if your marketing is not working, I want you to think about how you can make a change with what you're doing now and how you can make a change specifically with what you're doing when it comes to planning your marketing. Getting organized and starting to use a content planner will help you make sure that you cover all the bases, you stop the random acts of marketing, and that you are planned and organized. And when it comes to your marketing, that you are ready to make those changes that will actually get you the results that you're looking for. If you have any questions about this lesson, or you want to even suggest a topic for me to consider in a future podcast, just send me a quick voice message at speakpipe.com/KathyC or DM me on Instagram at pepperitmarketing. The whole goal of today's podcast episode is for you to be thinking about how you can get organized and start using a content planner to keep you organized and keep you using a system so that you don't find marketing is such a big struggle for you, that you can get it done in less time, and that it actually helps you get more traffic to your website, more leads signing up to talk to you, and booking more clients. This is Kathy Colaiacovo, and I want to say thanks for listening in today. Have a fabulous day. And remember, if you want to thrive in practice, this is going to start by making sure you block time to plan your marketing, because time invested now will always pay off later on with more leads and more clients. I'll see you next time. You can find all of our show notes and resources mentioned at marketingyourprivatepractice.com. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at pepperitmarketing and say hi. I'd love to hear any feedback you have, and make sure to rate and review the podcast and hit subscribe on your favorite player so you don't miss any future episodes. You can find all of our show notes and resources mentioned at marketingyourprivatepractice.com. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at pepperitmarketing and say hi. I'd love to hear any feedback you have, and make sure to rate and review the podcast and hit subscribe on your favorite player so you don't miss any future episodes.